everybody, Rocktimus Prime here, back with another video. Now, as you can see, we're still home. It is still decorated for Christmas. However, as I'm filming this, this is New Year's Eve. So I guess before we go any further, Happy New Year. By the time this uploads, it will probably be like the 2nd or the 3rd.
Wrong, sir. Wrong.
So I had intended to do today's video as a Christmas video. However, certain things happened and I wasn't able to do it on time.
What? You don't say.
So today, we're gonna do a little catch up on this guy. This is obviously the Generation 1 version of Cosmos. Now, I got Cosmos really recently. I've only had him about 2 weeks. And this little guy is the Generation 1 version I got from Optimus 405. He went to TFCon and got me a few mini-bots. Huffer, Cosmos, he got me Brawn as well. So now that I have the Generation 1 toy, I thought I would do a Cosmos crash course. So anyway, today we're going to be covering the Generation 1 toy, the Generations toy, and the Legacy Cosmos. Starting off first, we're going to take a quick look at the Generation 1 toy. And as you can see, this guy is teeny tiny. He is very, very small. He is what they call a mini-bot, and he transforms very simply into a flying saucer. Now, Cosmos is quite the bearer of many jokes, jives, and jests at the expense of Transformers fans and others. Because robots in disguise, like, who's gonna see this and be like, oh. In terms of details, he doesn't really have a whole lot, but what is there is greatly appreciated. His head, he has like sunglasses, and it is a little bit worn, but that's kind of how you pull his head up. And almost every single Cosmos I see is all worn off like that.
That's really interesting.
This one is actually in surprisingly good condition. Got some nice sticker detailing there, some detailing there on his arms. He is supposed to have a rub symbol here, but it wasn't included on mine. It looks like it was scraped off at some point. Not a big issue. You can get these on repro labels if you really wanted to. I really don't care.
Why even bring it up? Am I right?
One thing, I don't remember Cosmos having this much of a dump truck. Articulation-wise, he's not packing a whole lot. His arms basically swivel. They go up and down. His feet go forward, and he has a toe joint. So for some size comparisons in robot mode, here we have fellow Minibot Pipes. So you can see he's about a Minibot scale. Here he is next to Core Class Soundwave. And here he is with his leader, Optimus Prime. Now this is Missing Link Optimus, who is very dusty. Transformation is pretty simple. You just push the arms down, push the legs in, pop the head down, and you have this nice little UFO thing. It's very 80s, very B-movie, I guess. Like, you can see the string. But it's Cosmos. It is what it is. Now, there was a bit of a gap between when G1 Cosmos came out and when he got a more recent update. I believe it was just the Generation 1 toy, and then this guy. This is the Generations IDW Cosmos, that whole run, the same time they did Swerve, Gears, and unironically, he is my favorite of the Cosmos trio that I'm going to show off today.
Spoilers.
I just think that he wears his alt mode well, he wears the character well. Coming in close, you can see some of the details. You do see a nice bit of detailing here. You see the spectacles that I was calling out on the other one. He has this nice like bridge motif on his chest, Autobot logo there, on his shoulder. Very, very nice. For taking what is essentially a flat disc and turning it into a man, I think they did a great job. You can obviously see like his gigantic feet, but we'll let that slide. Articulation wise, his head does go side to side. It is very tight. The ball joints here at the upper shoulder, they do have a slight wiggly waggly there, but they also go in and out. You have a nice bend back, mostly for transformation, and a ball joint at the elbow. So you get some rather decent bend out of it. And then he just has Hulk hands for fists.
Hulk hands with real Hulk sounds. Is there a Hulk in you?
Now, there is no waist articulation to speak of. If you have him transformed with the fin in his back, it's locked. But if you pull the fin out, you can get, let me see if I can get it here. Yeah. Unlock the transformation joint here at the hips, so at the upper chest there. So you can kind of like unlock a waist swivel. The hips are on ball joints. They go up a surprising amount. They go back even farther. You do get a ball joint at the knee, which gives you a surprisingly deep bend. For as much fluff as there is around the skeleton of the toy, there's a lot of articulation there.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
He basically has two knee joints because you have the one here that's a ball joint, but then you also have one for the transformation joint. So you can get this guy in some pretty sick poses. Now for a size comparison in robot mode, here we have Generations Cosmos. Here you have him next to Core Class Soundwave. So you can see kind of the size that he would be if you only collected Core Class and like Scouts. Here he is with Legacy Animated Bumblebee. Here you have him with my last review, Legacy Cannonball. The transformation is incredibly interesting. Everything kind of flips and secures in a pretty normal place. This is the more convincing looking of the Cosmos alt modes. Now, yes, it is still a flying saucer, but it's more streamlined and squished into a more sci-fi take. So just so you can see the comparisons, I just really like the Generations mold. Gives off the same vibe as Thunderbird 2 to me for some reason. Next, we move on to Legacy Cosmos, and this is probably Cosmos's most faithful representation. I don't know if I got used to a more linebacker style Cosmos or what, but this guy just is, he's fine, he's good. I just prefer the Generations one.
Dull surprise!
I think too, it has a lot to do with him being a small bot to start out with, rather than the regular size deluxe that he is now. Putting my baggage aside, this Cosmos is quite good.
Make a choice!
He is nicely detailed, nicely articulated. He comes with a rifle and he comes with a checkered flag because this guy was released as part of the Legacy Speedia 500 series, if I remember correctly. Basically, he was like the Lakitu. He would go on. Articulation-wise, his head is on a ball joint, so you get some nice wiggle waggle and side to side. Shoulders are on they're on a swivel this way, but they're on a pin that way. Movement this way, and then movement this way. He does have a waist swivel, which is part of the transformation, but it is nice that they have it. His legs go out that far, back that far, so he can do a full Van Damme forwards and backwards. You do get a nice Van Damme that way as well. There is a thigh swivel, a knee bend, and a toe joint. So you can get him into some pretty athletic poses for a tubby guy. Coming in briefly so you can see some of the details on him in robot mode. He has those same details on his arms that the Generation 1 did. The chest detailing is a little different. I believe it's more cartoon accurate than it is toy accurate. He has two little blue peepers instead of sunglasses like the Generations 1 did. He does still have the blasters here on the side of his fist. For some comparisons in robot mode, here you have Cosmos, and here you have Legacy Animated Bumblebee. Here you have him with Core Soundwave. Here he is with Legacy Cannonball, and Missing Link Optimus Prime. I don't know what it is about Cosmos and this particular design, but I feel like it only works on the Generation 1 toy. I just don't like his alt mode. I really don't. Unless it's the Generation version, I just don't feel like this fits. I don't know.
Sean the non-believer. Sean.
Maybe I'm the problem. But it is a very nice representation of whatever Cosmos is supposed to be. UFO, sure. Bring it in the Generation 1 toy. You can see just how much is represented, basically just this window. And these silver stripes here in the front are quite reminiscent of the rub symbol that was supposed to be here. So I think that's a nice touch. He also has the triple boosters out the back like the original. Now this is a very faithful adaptation of the Generation 1 Cosmos toy into Legacy. It just might be a little too authentic because, as I said, it doesn't really fit in terms of the aesthetic of modern toys to have just a trash can UFO in with them. One thing I do like is that this isn't his actual head. It's just on a plate that spins. Thought that was quite good. Though in order to show you that I did have to destroy most of Cosmos.
I wish I had the slightest idea of what the hell I was doing.
Let's start off by saying I liked Cosmos, didn't I? He can be a bit finicky to transform. Now, I know there are Transformers fans out there going, huh?
Are you insane?
But if you get the order of operations wrong in any step, he won't fit together. Gun storage can go in that port back there, can go on the side, on either side.
No, I can't see! I can't see!
So overall for a Cosmos list, I'd have to say my favorite is the Generations, followed by the Generation 1 toy, and then pulling up the rear, the Legacy one. It's a fine toy, it's nicely articulated, but I just feel like in an era of modern car designs and modern toys, this doesn't really fit. It just seems so weird. And maybe that was the intention. The Generation 1 toy was a bit odd as well. But maybe they nailed it too hard? Because I feel like we got the vibe that, oh, he's a weird space guy from the Generation toy without having to make it look doofy. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm not a G1 guy. Although, my collection at the moment is mostly Generation 1 toys.
Is this the human condition of madness, leader? It is.
Maybe I'm becoming a Generation 1 toy. I'm a pretender.
This isn't funny!
Overall, Cosmos, do I recommend him? Yeah, I guess. He's kind of rare to find. I remember picking mine up because I saw him in the store and going, Cosmos. Because a lot of people wanted a new Cosmos and he was flying off the shelves.
Stop it. Get some help.
I'm gonna end this review before I get any more puns. So thank you guys so much for watching this. This has been Rocktimus Prime with Transformers Legacy Cosmos, Generation 1 Cosmos, saying hope you guys have a good day, good night, whenever you're watching this. Happy New Year, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care.